Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be discussing whether or not I think Batman Arkham Knight gets too much hate. If you are familiar with the Batman Arkham games, you'll know that the games that get the most hate are generally Knight and Origins, and Asylum and City kind of classified as the best ones. So today, as I said, we're going to be discussing whether or not I think the hate's deserved, what I like about the game, what I don't like, and let me know what you guys think about the game, whether you think it's a good or bad game. If you guys enjoy Batman Arkham as much as we do, then subscribe, because we're going to be making more of these types of videos as well, also for other games. So if you look at our channel, you'll see other games, and if you like those, then subscribe for that, because we're going to be making more videos. So we're going to start off with things that I think the game didn't do very well, the sort of negatives of the game. So then, as I said, we can finish off in a positive note. So something that I think the game did really poorly would of course be the tank, the Batmobile tank. Overall the Batmobile was really good, but I don't think the tank battles, I guess you could call them, were very good. I think the idea is kind of cool, I think it was fun, but I think it was too repetitive. Like, you have to do one probably every 10-20 minutes maybe. I'm not too sure about that, so don't, quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure, like, it's always around that. Like, you have to do one quite a lot. Also, the fact that a lot of the boss battles take place in a tank, like against Deathstroke and the Arkham Knight, those are in a tank, whereas there should probably be like a fist fight or something like how it was done in Arkham Origins with Deathstroke. But I don't know, I just don't think the boss fights were done very well in Arkham Knight overall because of that. A lot of them were based like with other people in a tank. The fact that there was a lot of, like, you could kind of call it like hide and seek with tanks, like when you were trying to blow up some of the Arkham Knight's militia in the tanks, where they were like, maybe there were like 5 to 7 of them, and you like had to go around and like get behind them and shoot them in like the exact place, and if you missed, they would see you and then kill you. And because they lock onto you, it's kind of hard to actually like be kind of careful, because sometimes you press the wrong button, sometimes other ones see you and then you're kind of fucked, because in like a tiny little area, sure you can escape, but because like at the start, if you mess up, there's 5 to 7 of them that can come fuck you up. So I kind of think that that's really irritating. I think that's probably what I hate the most about them. I think the actual tank parts are fun, going around and just blowing people up. While it doesn't really make sense plot-wise, I guess it's kind of like, if the Arkham Knight knows everything about Batman, wouldn't he put actual people in the tanks? Which is true, but like, you kind of have to have an open mind. If you sort of nitpick everything, then the game's just not going to be very fun or entertaining. So overall, I think the tank wasn't done well. I think the actual tank idea is great, and I think the Batmobile itself is great, but that's the thing that gets the most hate from the players and critics, is generally the fact that the Batmobile's forced upon you, which is definitely true. It doesn't stop the game from being fun sometimes it definitely does, especially with those, hide and seek tank type shit. That stuff blows actual booty cheeks, but the actual rest of the game, Arkham Knight is a good game, but in terms of hate, myself, I worded that terribly. In terms of like whether I think it deserves the hate, I don't think this game deserves the amount of hate it gets. I definitely, like, me myself, I'll be honest, I straight up hate the tank when it comes to like the hide and seek shit. That's just what I'm calling it now. But the actual tank battles, I think they're too repetitive, but they are fun, so they're fine. But with the actual ones where you have to like hide and take out ones by hitting a certain spot, and the fact that they're like so many boss battles that should be fist fights are done in like tanks, that's just a huge like no, like that's not cool. That just actually blows. So I think that's like the most hated thing in the game by far, is the sort of tanks. A lot of people hate the actual tank like overall, but I don't know, I think it's just certain bits that could really suck. Also the fact that you do a lot of things that you can do on foot in the tank, like when you're searching for Ivy's like the roots, you literally do that in the tank, whereas you know it's Batman, he could find a way to do that on foot with like detective work and stuff, like with the gadgets, or like, I don't know, I'm not Batman, Batman, but he could do a lot of like cool shit. So I don't really know why they made him do all this detective stuff in the tank. That just isn't cool. But I mean, that's basically it for why people don't like this game. Also, of course, the plot isn't great. While I'm not a big sort of story person, I don't really care about the plot as long as it's not massively terrible and it's just fun and interesting. And this game definitely is interesting. There were a couple of like turns. There were, for some reason, a good amount of jump scares, and that is fucked. Like the fucking man bat thing, I'm not putting it in the video because it'll fuck you guys up. If you've seen it, it's terrifying. But like that shit is insane. But yeah, this game, the plot is decent. I'm not gonna spoil it, even though the game's like, how old now? Like 6 years old. I'm not gonna spoil it because you guys might not have played it. But overall, I think the plot is fine if you're not like very nitpicky. If you are, then the game's kind of screwed for you, because yeah, the plot's not good, right? It's not terrible, but it probably just scratches the border of decent. But I don't know, I think it's fine. And to end off now, we're going to talk about some positives. So obviously graphics are great in the game. We've already made a video of 5 things the game did really well, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely do. But I think that was one on my list. The graphics, obviously it'll be the best in the series if it came out years later. And yeah, the engine looks really good, so that's about it for the graphics. As I said, don't have much to say about that. The character designs as well, which was also in the video, it's just great. I don't really have much to say. Characters look pretty realistic while looking still classic, looking very like DC comicsy. Yeah, I don't know, one of those, like looking real. They just look good. Oh yeah, another thing, the voice acting is really good as well. You have Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as Joker. Mark Hamill wasn't going to come back, but he did, which is awesome. They have I believe they have the same Harley Quinn actor, and from the animated series, so that's awesome as well. And overall, I just think Arkham Knight is a really solid experience. So if you would ask me, I would say Arkham Knight's hate. You know, if you want to hate the game, I don't really have a problem with that, because I think the things that are bad about this game can kind of ruin it. Personally, if this was like a rating thing, I would give the game about a 6 or 7. I think it's fun and it looks great, but the tank is definitely the worst bit, guys. I mean, it's just, it can ruin the game for a lot of people, and it definitely did for me my first time. On my second playthrough, I just sort of didn't want to be too harsh on the game, so I tried to sort of, you know, not get irritated by it. And you know, if you try not to get irritated by it, it can be a fun game. It's still fun, but it's just kind of shit sometimes with that stuff. So let me know in the comments, do you think Arkham Knight deserves the hate? What do you like and dislike about the game? Subscribe for more Batman Arkham videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.